You know, for decades, we've all been told that walking is the absolute gold standard for staying healthy as we get older. But what if that's, well, just not the whole story? Today, we're going to dive into why, according to one top orthopedic surgeon, relying only on walking after you turn 75 might actually be a huge mistake.
I mean, that statement right there, from a surgeon with over 30 years of experience, it flies in the face of everything we've heard. So, why would he say something so controversial? Well, as it turns out, there's a ton of money invested in keeping things exactly the way they are.
$1.3 trillion. That's the estimated size of the global walking industry. We're talking everything from special shoes and fancy orthotics to walkers and fitness trackers. Think about it. This huge market has every reason in the world to keep promoting walking as the one-and-done solution, because it keeps people buying their products. And listen, the problem isn't that walking is bad for you. It's just incomplete. It's not the whole shebang.
And this number, honestly, it's pretty startling. 40%. That's how many of your key muscles for balance, stability, and preventing falls are just left behind when you're only walking. See, after you hit 75, things change. Your nervous system, those little stabilizer muscles, your fast twitch fibers, they need very specific, targeted exercises. And no matter how many miles you log, walking just can't give them what they need.
So, what are those specific movements, right? Well, researchers have pinpointed 5 exercises that are absolutely critical. We're going to count them down from 5 to 1, starting with 2 that are all about rebuilding your body's foundation. All right, coming in at number 5, we've got the wall push-up. And yeah, I know, it might look simple, but don't let that fool you. In fact, orthopedic surgeons call this one of the safest, most effective upper body exercises for seniors. Why? Because it rebuilds that crucial stability without putting any dangerous stress on your joints. And this slide really shows you why it's so darn powerful. You're not just working your arms here. We're talking about engaging over 30 different muscle groups, including all those tiny little stabilizers in your shoulders and wrists. And get this, that Yale study? It's amazing. A 4% increase in wrist bone density in just 6 months. I mean, that's huge, especially when most people are losing bone density at that age. Okay, so how do you actually do them? The form is crucial here. You stand about an arm's length from a wall, lean in, keeping your body in a nice straight line, and then push back over a slow 2-second count. But here's the real key, the secret sauce, that 4th step. You've got to make it just a little bit harder every couple of weeks. Maybe you stand a little further from the wall. That's how you get stronger. All right, let's move on to number 4. This one is the seated leg extension. It targets what surgeons call your body's #1 shock absorbers, your quads. And think about it. When those muscles get weak, every single step you take sends a jolt right up into your knees and hips. Ouch. And the numbers here, wow, they really are eye-opening. Did you know your quads can shrink about 1.5% every year after 75 if you don't specifically work them? But here's the good news. Strengthening them can slash knee pain by almost half. And check this out, this is so interesting. Resistance bands, they're actually more effective than weights for seniors. It's because they stimulate more muscle fibers through the whole range of motion. So to do this right, you sit in a solid chair, loop a resistance band around one ankle, and slowly straighten that leg. The tempo, the speed, is absolutely everything. You want to hold it at the top for a full 2 seconds, and then take a slow 3-second count to come back down, but keep that tension on the band. It's that constant tension that tells the muscle, hey, time to get stronger. Okay, so we've laid the groundwork with foundational strength. Now we're going to shift our focus to 2 issues that I know are on everyone's mind: balance and bone density. And believe me, these next 2 exercises are total game changers. But before we reveal number 2, I've got a little trivia question for you. We all know astronauts lose bone mass up in 0 gravity, right? So how in the world does NASA stop that from happening? The answer is actually surprisingly simple, and it connects directly to our next exercise. The answer? It's impact. Yep, they actually use special machines to create impact that signals the astronauts' bones to stay strong. And we can use that exact same principle with exercise number 2, heel drops. It's literally space-age science you can do right in your living room. I mean, this is just incredible stuff. So that sharp little impact from a heel drop sends what's called a piezoelectric signal, a tiny electrical current through your bones. And that signal is like a wake-up call for your bone-building cells. The results are just stunning. We're talking about reversing osteoporosis, increasing hip bone density by 7% in just 12 weeks, and targeting the exact spots most likely to fracture: the hips, the spine, and the femur. And the best part? The exercise itself could not be easier.
You just rise up on your toes and then drop your heels down with a firm little thud. You want to feel a gentle jolt, kind of like stepping off a curb unexpectedly. But the instructions are very specific. 50 drops in a row, once a day. That's the magic number you need to kickstart that amazing bone rebuilding process.
Which brings us to number 3. And this one, it isn't just an exercise. It's more like a complete reprogramming for your nervous system to prevent falls. We're talking about a modified Tai Chi balance flow.
So, to really get why Tai Chi works so well, we need to talk about something called your proprioceptive system. Basically, it's your body's internal GPS. It's constantly telling your brain where you are in space. Now, this system can get a little rusty with age, which is why falls happen. But the amazing news is you can retrain it at any age. And those slow, graceful movements in Tai Chi, they're the perfect tool for the job.
And you don't have to take my word for it. The research is crystal clear. Just doing a modified flow like this a few times a week can slash your risk of falling by a massive 45%. It also speeds up your reaction time, so you're quicker to catch yourself if you do stumble. And hey, as a nice little bonus, it can even lower your blood pressure. Okay, here we are. We've worked our way through 4 incredibly powerful movements for strength, bones, and balance. But there is one exercise that stands head and shoulders above all the rest. The one that some orthopedic surgeons believe should be absolutely mandatory for everyone over 75.
And here it is, folks. The number 1 most critical exercise you can do is the supported deep squat. Why? Because it does 2 things better than anything else. It activates more muscles at once, and it triggers a huge flood of powerful anti-aging hormones.
And let's talk about that hormonal response, because this is the real game changer. Doing this one move can boost your growth hormone by 200% and testosterone by 45%, and that effect can last for up to 2 days. It's so powerful, researchers have nicknamed it the fountain of youth response. These hormones are just that critical for keeping your muscle, your bone, and your energy levels high.
So let's break down how to do this safely. You're going to want to use a sturdy door frame or a countertop for support. Then you lower your hips back and down, trying to get your hip crease below your knees if you can. But here's where the magic really happens. You hold that deep position for 30 to 60 seconds. That long hold is the trigger that unleashes that massive hormonal response and builds unbelievable functional strength.
So let's zoom out and put this all together. You see, this isn't just a random list of exercises. It's a complete system for healthy aging. You've got your daily essentials, the squats and heel drops for hormones and bones, and then you have your balance and strength work that you can mix in a few times a week. All together, they cover all the bases that walking by itself just can't.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's this. Your body is an incredible machine. It's literally programmed to rebuild strength, to get your balance back, and to make your bones denser no matter how old you are. The only question is, are you giving it the right instructions? Are you sending the right signals to unlock all that amazing potential?